My friends, today I am going to share with you some ultimate Irish comfort food, a beautiful, dark and delicious shepherd's pie with a creamy champ mash. This is the dish you need to make this St. Patrick's Day, and it is so simple to do. It starts off in a pan with a little bit of oil. We're going to saute down some onions and some carrots just until they're nice and tender, and you are looking for a nice sizzle when you go in that pan. I'm also going to season it up with some salt and a little touch of black pepper. And take your time with this. Let those onions become nice and golden and nice and soft. And at this stage as well, just sprinkle in some thyme leaves. It just starts the flavors coming together, and I'm going to stick the rest of this in to saute off in a moment. So, stir that through. I have to be honest, when I was growing up, this was a dish that my mom made all the time, and we always complained about getting it, but for me, this is ultimate comfort food, and it's the perfect thing to celebrate being Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Now, to be a shepherd's pie, you have to use ground lamb, but if you wanted to make this with beef or pork mince, it works just as well. It'll be a slightly different flavour, but the lamb mince here gives it that wonderful sweet flavour and that classic shepherd's pie taste. So in with our ground lamb, and just break this up with the back of a wooden spoon like this, and you're looking for this to fry out and get a nice little bit of colour. Take your time breaking this up with a wooden spoon. You want nice little bits of the lamb, and then once you do have those nice little bits, it's time to go in there with some beef stock. Oh yes, this is going to be good. This is looking great, so it's time to go in there with some beef stock. For a little touch of sort of dark flavour, I'm going in with some Worcestershire sauce. Get that straight in there. I still can never say it, but that's okay. And then to give it a rich sweetness, I'm going in with some tomato paste or tomato puree. So just stir that through, and I also add in the rest of those thyme leaves, and you can pluck them out just at the end of the cooking time. This now needs to simmer away for 45 minutes, just until it's reduced down, it's thickened up, and you've got a lovely meaty sauce. This beautiful lamb sauce has reduced right down, and you can see that it's intensified in flavours. So at this point now, it's time to assemble this shepherd's pie. And I'm doing this topping with a little bit of a difference. Normally you have mashed potatoes as your topping, but I'm going to make a champ mash, which has spring onions, lots of butter, and a little bit of milk as well. So to do that, I have my spring onions here, and you just want a nice fine slice on your spring onions. Just top and tail them, give them a nice fine slice. And the beautiful thing about adding spring onions or scallions into your mash is that you're going to get this lovely hum of onion, and it's subtle and it's sweet, but it works extremely well, and it just adds another dimension to this shepherd's pie. It's shepherd's pie with a difference. This is looking fantastic. We've got lots and lots of spring onions here, and before I mix them into my mash, I need to get the base of my lovely shepherd's pie all set and ready to go. So, transfer this out. I'm going to pluck out this lovely thyme. It has done its work. And now it's time to transfer this mixture out into our dish. Okay. Just spread this out evenly across the base of your dish. And now that I have a nice base to this shepherd's pie, it's time to talk about our topping. I have some potatoes that have been cooked off. You'd need to boil them in some boiling water with some salt and just cook them out for about 10 or 12 minutes, just until they're nice and tender, and you can pierce them with a fork. And once you do, it's time to get mashing. Now, into this mixture, we need to add a very hefty amount of butter. So that goes straight in. And I'm also going to add a tiny touch of milk. The trick with the milk is to add a tiny bit at the start and then just finish it off with some more at the end, so that you end up with creamy, delicious mash. Season it up with some salt and a tiny touch of some black pepper. White pepper if you're being a purist, but black pepper will do. And now it is time to get mashing. That is the ultimate smell of my childhood. Hot, creamy mashed potatoes, loads of butter, a little bit of salt. This is proper comfort food. Now, I'm going to finish this off with a little bit more milk. You're looking for a really creamy, spreadable consistency on your potatoes. If you don't have that, go on home. You shouldn't even bother. This is where you need to use a bit of elbow grease. You need to make sure that there's absolutely no lumps in your mash. Okay, this is looking pretty good, so tap off any excess. We're going to go straight in there with all those beautiful green spring onions. Get them straight in there. And then just give the whole thing a mix through with a wooden spoon. I love the fact that you get those little flecks of green running through the mash. And it's fine to do it without the spring onions or the scallions, but it just looks so much more interesting with them in there. It kind of adds the green from the Irish green flag, so, you know, Important on St. Patrick's Day. Okay, now it is time to spread this across the top of our lovely pie. My top tip here is do loads of dollops over the top and then join up your dollops. It's lots of dolloping fun. Now just spread this across the top, and because you have that butter and the milk in there and those creamy mashed potatoes, when this goes into the oven they're going to puff up and they're going to get lovely and golden brown. So spread this evenly over the top, and this now goes into the oven preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 200 degrees Celsius, and it's going to bake off for 25 minutes. Oh, holy St. Patrick, we are in business. That is a brilliant shepherd's pie. It smells incredible, and now I have to dive in and try some of this. It gets a little bit messy at this point, but it's well worth going in. Look at that creamy mash, that beautiful meaty sauce, and now you've got to dive in there and try some. I love how creamy the mashed potato is. That meat is rich, sweet and delicious, and then you've got that creamy mash with that little bit of scallion and spring onion in the middle. It is so good and well worth trying. If you want the recipe, you can check it out in the box below. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and of course let me know what you're doing this year to get in the mood for St. Patrick's Day. See you soon.